The last time Ghana beat a team in the top 10 in Africa should have been in the 2017 AFCON, where we beat Mali. I think, Asamajan scored the only goal. So Mali is the only team in the top 10 now that Ghana has beat so far. So Mali, I think Mali is 8th in Africa now. So really, when Ghana stands up against the teams top 10 in Africa, it's almost very likely that Ghana will not win, and Ghana will not win. That's it. We do not lose most of it, but we do not win. That's the most important thing in our last 5 games. And Nigeria is 3rd in Africa, so our work is getting more difficult. And also, Black Stars have in the month of March, Ghana has met Nigeria on 4 occasions. Unfortunately, Ghana as well has not won any match. Ghana, we've done 3 times and we've lost only once. So you say maybe it's bad omen because we are playing in March. Also, we've played 8 World Cup qualifying matches against the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and Ghana has won only twice. Fortunately for us, Nigeria has also won only twice, and we've drawn 4 times. So maybe it's a World Cup qualifying playoff again, so maybe Ghana stands a chance. So maybe Friday is going to be the 9th World Cup qualifying game. And I told you the last time Ghana was involved in a double header tie in Kumasi, Ghana won. That should have been, we beat Egypt 6-1. Once again, we beat Congo 5-1. So really, Ghana, in that score, at Kumasi, Ghana really does well. But on that score again, where we are looking at the fact that Ghana does not win against teams in the top 10 of Africa, it shows that this match is going to be really difficult for the Black Stars. And so we are eager to listen to the coach Otuado this afternoon with his technical team. I told you of 3 people. There's George Boateng, he's an Aston Villa under 23 coach. There is a Chris Hilton, he's a former Newcastle, former Tottenham Hotspur, former Ireland and assistant manager, former Newcastle coach, former Brighton and Hove Albion coach as well. A big pedigree. He's our technical advisor at the moment. He's on the bench for us now. And we have another one called Masoud Didi Dramani. He's head of the technical team at the Right to Dream Academy. Remember, that's the academy that has produced the Kamaldeen Sulemana, who plays for Rennes, and also Mohamed Kudus, who plays for Ajax. So really, is a team of competent coaches who are trying to form and trying to put their heads together and trying to lead Black Stars to glory. Remember, Nigeria has gone to the AFCON 3 consecutive times, twice. So this will be the first time if Nigeria qualifies that Nigeria will be going to the World Cup 4 consecutive times. Nigeria goes 3 times and then they break for a long time. They go 3 times, they break for a long time. So we're going to see if they are going to break the cycle and now continue it for a 4th time. Ghana missed 2018 World Cup. It will be a disaster if Ghana is not present at the 2022 World Cup, because what it will mean is that Ghana football is sinking and we will need a miracle to bring it back, because we have just come out of our worst ever AFCON outing. And if we miss the World Cup for the 2nd time, then it shows that now Ghana is sinking and we really need salvation. So that's the situation for now.
Okay, there are 3 things there that you've mentioned. Ghana probably missing out in the World Cup this year. One, there's the coaching situation over there. When you're talking just immediately after AFCON, there seems to be a bit of uncertainty in terms of who was actually going to be in charge of that particular team, because and you've mentioned them, the people that have been linked to the team are a team of experienced, people who have been in the sporting world for quite a while. Has that aspect been sorted out? Are you able to tell now this is the person who's going to be in charge of the team, or they are all there, but still it is not clear who's going to be taking full charge of the team after this?
Well, there still seems to be some uncertainty, because media reports from people very close to the FA tell us that after these 2 crucial matches against Nigeria, mind you, Otuado has a job with Borussia Dortmund. George Boateng has a job with Aston Villa. Masud Dramani has a job with Right to Dream Academy. It's only Chris Hilton who doesn't have a job so far. So after this game, he would now take over the reins of the Black Stars for the next 3 years. That's up to 2025. However, an executive committee member of the FA was with my network about a week ago, and he said, no, after this match, in April, to open up nominations, that's the word he used, nominations, or open up for applications from whichever coach will apply. And they'll either do a careful selection from whoever will be, whoever will apply for the job. So it's hard to tell because whoever had those media reports is so close to the FA. And now a member of the FA comes out to say that's not going to happen. So we are really looking after this game to see what will happen. But it is looking increasingly like Chris Hilton might take up the job after the Nigeria game, all things being equal.
Okay, we've talked about the brilliance of Nigerians forward squad, yeah, forward players, yeah, and we've also mentioned the strength of Ghana lies in the midfield and in the defense. Where do you think this game is going to be won at, Eugene? Is it that obvious, or there are dynamics that might change in the course of the game?
You know, one thing about Ghana-Nigeria matches is not our form. That's one thing that should be in consideration. Yeah. Let me remind you that I think in the last 5 matches, Ghana versus Nigeria, Ghana has not lost. So on that score, maybe Ghana going to this game will be thinking, well, we have not lost against them in the last 5 matches, but form-wise, they are on top 4 because in the Serie A, in the last 2 matches, Victor Osimhen has scored brace in both games. So he's quite in mercurial form, I should say. Odion Ighalo in the last match against, in his match for Al Hilal, scored a hat-trick. After the first half, he has scored a hat-trick. So really, Odion Ighalo and Victor Osimhen are really in top form. They are not, I will not miss words, they are really in top form. However, I spoke about the fact that Wilfred Ndidi is injured. They have options. There's Ogenakaro Itebo, there's Frank Onyeka, the others. Joe Aribo is still around. But I think the depth and the experience and that kind of cover and the shield that Wilfred Ndidi will give to the Nigerian team, I think is a void Nigeria will find it very hard to cover up. So I think it's a space Ghana can exploit, especially when we have Mohamed Kudus back. It's a space Mohamed Kudus can exploit. I think both teams will go for a 4-2-3-1 formation. So it's going to be about a case of individual brilliance than about formation. Because then if both teams are going to play a 4-2-3-1, then really it goes to be man for man, who is superior. And as I've said, I think this is the formation how it's going to go for me. For left back for Ghana, it will be hard at the moment to tell. It's a close call. We have Gideon Mensah who plays for Bordeaux, and also we also have Dennis Costa from Hearts of Oak. He's a local player in Ghana here. They might be in contention to play for left back. Now for centre back, we have our favorite pair. We have Dynamite for Leicester City, and then we have Alexander Jiku. He plays for Strasbourg in Ligue 1. They are our favorite centre back pairing at the moment. If anything changes, maybe Joseph Edu can come in. If not, those two are our favorite centre backs. At right back, Ghanaians no longer trust Andriado, who plays for Reading. And so we might go for a new guy whose name is Dennis Odoi. He plays for Club Brugge. He might go for right back. In central midfield, we might go for a double pivot of Thomas Partey. And maybe we'll go in for St. Pauli's Kofitre. Daniel Kofitre is in top form. I think after Andre Dede, who is not fit who is not available because of the red card, I think Daniel Kofitre is the next informed player from St. Pauli. In his last few matches, he scored about 3 or 4 free kicks. He scored about 5-6 goals in his last few games. So he's really in good form. He will play a double pivot with Thomas Partey. Then maybe we might play another 3 midfield of Joseph Pinsel and Mohamed Kudus as a number 10, and then maybe Samuel Owusu, or maybe Jordan Ayew will play as a winger, and maybe there are a lot of maybes up front. Honestly, a lot of maybes up front. Maybe Joine will strike. If not, we'll have maybe a different player, or else maybe we'll have Afenajan. We have about 3 strikers. There's Christopher Enchieje. He plays for Bochum. Remember, they scored Bayern Munich in this season. He scored one of the goals, and I think he's merited him a call up in the Black Stars. He scored 1 goal this season. We have Felix Afenajan, who plays for Roma, as I said. And then we have Jordan Ayew. So really, we have about 4 strikers. But experience-wise, Jordan Ayew is the only striker who has experience in this team. So it's really going to be, is it about form, or is it going to be about experience? What is about form? We have a player called Kwesi. He has 5 goals this season, but it's about experience. Jordan Ayew has 1 goal, but he's the most experienced player among our strikers. So there are a lot of ifs in the Black Stars. There's Osman Bukari who can play as a winger. So I think about 4 places are up for grabs, but I think really, largely, about 6 players in this team have their place cemented. Partey, I think, Kovitre, Kudus, Joseph Pencil, Jiku, Amate, and I think the goalkeeper Richard Ofori. For the Nigerian team, goalkeeping, I think Francis Uzoho will keep the post. He plays in Cyprus. For left back, I still think Zaida Sanusi will keep his place from the AFCON. Was superb. And if it's not broken, why do you need to fix it? Center back is where the problems are. But I said since the AFCON, Chustekon has not played, Kenneth Omero has not played. Now Leon Balogun is back, and he might have played. So would you go for experience or the players who have played for you so far, or you'd go for form? Because if you use form, then Chustekon might not play because he has not featured since the AFCON. But there's Leon Balogun, there's Shemi Ajayi, there are other good players around. So there are a lot of ifs for the Nigerian center back player. I think maybe Ola Aina will still maintain his spot at the right back position. Now, central midfield is what the problem is. Indeed, is not there. Maybe Joe Aribo might play. Frank Onyeka might start. So maybe those are their favorite 2 for central midfield. Then there are 3. It's likely Moses Simons might keep his place. Now with the arrival of Victor Osimhen, it looks like there might be a change of personnel. Kelechi Iheanacho would now play the number 10. It looks like, and then maybe not Chukwueze from Villarreal, but Emmanuel Dennis who plays for Watford. If we are using form, he's in better form than Chukwueze. So if you are using form, now Dennis might play the right wing, and then Osimhen will strike. But they have a really good bench because they have got some really good players on the bench. There's Ademola Lookman, Leicester City. He's switched from England to Nigeria. This might be his debut match, so he might come from the bench. Maybe Chukwueze might be on the bench. Igalo might be on the bench. Ahmed Musa might be on the bench. So if you look at this bench, it's really a strong bench the Nigerians will be lining up. And honestly, I would not want to be in the shoes of Coach Augustine Iguavon, because look at the players I've mentioned. Which metrics will you use to bench who? Because Igalo has 22 goals. Osimhen has 15 goals. Sadiq Umar has 16 goals. If you're using form, who's going to be on the bench? If you're using experience, who will be on the bench? If you use experience, maybe Osimhen will be on the bench, or maybe if he decides to play a 4-4-2, then he might play Igalo and Nigeria. But I think Augustine Iguavon will really have to sit down and think about this formation for about 3 to 4 hours, because really, egos are at stake. There are a lot of parties involved, a lot of interest in Nigeria. There's the Osimhen faction, there's the Igalo faction. Sadiq Umar does not really have a lot of fans on his side. But really, a lot of Nigerians are not happy with the inclusion of Odion Igalo in this team again, because after the 2019 AFCON, he said he had called it quits to the Nigerian team, retired. But going into this crucial game, their NFF president, Amaju Pinnick, had to go and convince Igalo to return to the Nigerian team. And a lot of the Nigerians feel that it will hamper the progress of Victor Osimhen. So really, it's Augustine Iguavon really need to think about this lineup a lot of time, especially about the 4 or 5 players that are going to lead the attack for him. So he's in for trouble. He's spoiled for choice in a lot of departments. And sometimes when you're spoiled for choice, you really need to think hard in satisfying players and satisfying egos. Because at the end of the day, for the national interest, he cannot satisfy a lot of the players. So his Augustine Guava is really in a fix as to who to select.
Okay. Maybe as we wrap up, Eugene, the question is, we've talked about the statistics and the performance of Ghana against the top 10 teams in the African continent. The big question that maybe somebody would be asking is, do you think Ghana is ready for the World Cup? Because they might perform very well in this qualifier and they might proceed into the World Cup. But the question is, do you think Ghana is really ready for the World Cup?
That's a very difficult question. One thing I've noticed in Africa is that some teams are very good at playing qualifiers, but never good at tournaments. Not good at tournaments. They're very awful. Tunisia is one. Egypt is one. If you look at qualifiers, Tunisia and Egypt are very good at qualifying for tournaments. They know how to take advantage of their home games and try and squeeze out some results away, and so really mostly top their groups. Tunisia was at the World Cup in 2018, but really saw less from the team. We really saw next to nothing from the Tunisian team. Egypt was at the 2018 World Cup. Really, we saw next to nothing from that team. So if you ask me if Ghana is prepared for this World Cup, really and truly, it's a very difficult question because there are a lot of dynamics.
Yeah.
By November, some footballers who are of different heritages might be available to play for Ghana. And it also depends if you're able to convince some few players to play for Ghana. Mind you, Callum Hudson-Odoi plays for Chelsea. He has both parents being Ghanaians. He's the last time he played for England should have been November 2019. So November 2022 will be 3 years since he last played for England, which would make him applicable or make him available to play for Ghana. So if Ghana qualifies for the World Cup, Callum Hudson-Odoi can be able to play. Also, Mohamed Salisu, he's actually a Ghanaian through and through. He was even born he lives in Kumasi, where the match will be played. Unfortunately, he seems to have a bit of issues with the FA, and so decided not to play the match. He decided not to represent the Black Stars. A lot of people have tried to convince him, but he's still adamant he's not going to play for Ghana. We also have a player called Alfred Duncan. He plays for, I think, Fiorentina in the Serie A. A Ghanaian through and through. He also has issues with the FA, where he does not trust the FA because he feels he's one of the most consistent players who has represented Ghana in the Serie A. After Kwejo Asamoah, I don't think any Ghanaian has been as consistent as Alfred Duncan. However, the situation is that anytime he comes to Ghana, it's either he's benched or he's played out of position. So he feels his pedigree in Europe, he's been disrespected with how he's been treated in Ghana. So he decided to call it sort of quits. When Milvan Raiva came, Milvan tried to convince him. He did not yield. The new coach Otuado also tried to convince him, and his argument was that Kwesi Appiah did not treat him well. Sika Akpona did not treat him well. Milvan Raiva tried to convince him, he didn't yield. Milvan Raiva ended up staying for only 4 months. Otuado might not stay for even a year. So what's the guarantee that if he comes to Ghana and he starts to play for Otuado, the next coach who will come will give him that respect and still play him in his rightful position and give him the minutes he deserves. So for now, a lot of players are there who do not want to play for Ghana. So really, if you ask me if Ghana is prepared, Ghana has the men to play in the World Cup. But whether they would be ready to play is the problem. Up front, our only problem is striking, because if we are talking about wingers, we have, I think, in excess of about, we have 4 wingers. We have Kamaldeen Sulemana, Joseph Pinsel, Samuel Owusu, Yao Yeboah, Osman Bukari. We have so many players, a plethora of talent. Just an out-and-out striker we really lack. That's the problem of Ghana. We lack an out-and-out striker, and we have problems with our fullbacks. So if you ask me if Ghana is ready, if Ghana is able to sort out the striking issues, be able to sort out their fullback issues, and be able to get a goalkeeper who is less injured, has more game time. And with game time comes experience and comes confidence. Eugene Ofori has played just about 9 games this season. He has been injured so far. He's been injured most parts of the season. So even though he has the experience, confidence-wise and game time-wise, he's lacking in that field. So if you're able to sort out those issues, I don't think Ghana has a problem. We'll be fine for the World Cup. So that's why I said this question is a very tricky question. If you're able to get the players we need, then we're able to make it, because every other department, center backs, we have about excess of about 5 or 6 different guys we can play as center back. Central midfield is not a problem, as I said. Midfielders are not a problem. In fact, Ghana's blessing has always been in midfield. We have never lacked midfielders, as Nigerians don't lack creative wingers. So really, it's a very dicey question to answer. From now to November is a long time. And if you listen to officials of the FA, they are still trying to convince a lot of people to come and play for Ghana. A lot of players are still there. And even if you look at it, sometimes I feel Ghana's problem is about honesty. Because if you look at statistics, you don't even understand why some players are not called up. Emmanuel JC, I think in Europe, the top 5 leagues, in terms of 1v1 dribbles, is number 5. Yet he does not make it into this Black Stars team, when his goals clearly outnumber some of the players who have been called up. Christopher Njueje, his goals outnumber Felix Afena-Jan. His goals outnumber Jordan Ayew. So Ghana's problem is a lot to do with honesty and a lot about interest than whether we have the men. So I always say it's a difficult question to answer. If you ask me if Ghana is ready for the World Cup, if Ghana is honest and Ghana calls up competent players, why not? Ghana can. There are several. I think La Liga too, we have about 2 players Ghana is trying to still convince. The the Williams brothers, Iñaki Williams and his younger brother, play for Athletic Bilbao. They're also of Ghanaian heritage, and the government is still trying, through politicians who are close to the family, to still try and convince them to play for the Black Stars. So Ghana has about 10 players they need to convince to play for the World Cup. If they're able to convince them, why not? Ghana can make it. But and you know that's a problem. If Nigeria doesn't make it to the World Cup, it will be a great loss, because Nigeria also has a pretty decent squad, which if they grace the World Cup, it will really be nice.
Okay. I like the battle. I like the battle that goes on between Ghana and Nigeria. I think one of these fine days, I'm hoping that we'll finish that argument of which jollof is better than the other.
It will never end. It will never end. It will never end.
Thank you so much.
It's about food. It's about music. It's about every other thing.
It's about everything, yeah? Food is just a small percentage of it.
Yes.